Support for Radio Friends comes from IT Como, offering computer and IT services for small businesses and residential clients. IT Como can set up remote work-at-home solutions and data security and backup systems and upgrade your company email to more modern platforms. IT Como can also help you get the most from your technology at home. Learn more at itcomo.com. Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Friday, December the 16th. We're going to talk about climate change today, specifically Renew Missouri and what they are trying to do to help alleviate the problems of climate change. And I want to introduce you to Philip Fracica, you are coordinator of programs for Renew Missouri.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, first of all, explain what is Renew Missouri?
Sure. So we're a 501c3 nonprofit. We're based here in Columbia, Missouri. We started in about 2006, and we've been advocating for renewable energy and energy efficiency policies across Missouri since then, and we've had a lot of wins lately, so it's been pretty great for us.
Yeah. So how are we doing in the state of Missouri as far as producing energy with renewable sources?
We're doing a lot better than we were when we started, which is why, we're pretty happy with where we're at. Our big utilities, Ameren, Evergy, Liberty, they're doing a lot in terms of their transition towards renewable energy, investing much more of their portfolio into renewable energy and away from fossil fuels. We've had a lot of success in our munis, like the one here in town, Columbia Water and Light. So we're getting there. But
yeah, Columbia Water and Light. Columbia is pretty progressive that way.
Yes, yeah.
But now you're trying to work with the rural co-ops because I was reading an article that the rural Missouri co-ops produce most of their energy from coal.
Yeah, that's right.
And the information they put out is that coal is the most reliable way to produce that energy. Yep. You're saying there is another alternative.
Yes. So broadly, there's a big opportunity for our co-ops in Missouri to divest, reinvest in renewable energy, expand their portfolio, be a little more resilient. That's something we hear a lot in talking about energy is resiliency. As we talk about climate change and what if we have a really bad outage, we have really bad inclement weather, what are we going to do if something stops? And a lot of people talk about Winter Storm Uri in Texas and what happened there and how that shut down natural gas plants, shut down wind generation. So some of that is preparation. Are we prepared for this? If you are, you have a resilient mix of generation, then you're really prepared for anything bad that's going to happen and can keep the power on, keep things going. So they're not going to shut down tonight or have any issues if they don't transition, but it's going to get more expensive the longer they wait. And thankfully, there's a ton of money right now in the Inflation Reduction Act that our co-ops specifically can get access to millions of dollars for renewable energy, some of which is free. They won't pay any of it back.
So this money that is available to rural Missouri co-ops, it is specifically for renewable energy, not for coal.
Yes. So it's specifically for renewable energy, energy efficiency, electric vehicle, electrification, prep work, and getting more EV transportation out there for school buses, for individuals, for businesses. So there's really just a push in general of new investment for the whole energy sector out of this money that they could get and use for various projects that they want to.
Are they all aware of this?
They are.
But you're trying to knock on the doors and saying, hey, take advantage of this. Because it basically is free money.
Yeah.
Are you finding when you talk to the co-op managers that they are open to this, or are still many of them want to remain dependent on coal?
So they did have a letter come out. Associated Electric had a letter come out in September, and it said that renewable energy is stupid in there. So I think they're still fighting through it a little bit. We did give them a little bit benefit of the doubt that this recently passed. The Inflation Reduction Act passed in August, so we're hopeful that they're still looking at it, thumbing through it.
And who said this?
It was the director of Associated Electric in Missouri.
And said that renewable energy is stupid?
Yes.
Okay.
So hopefully he can see some of the opportunities that we now have through this federal legislation, and they'll want to take some of that free money.
Now, solar panels are renewable. And is that renewable? How can that be stupid when you've got these solar panels, they're soaking in the energy from the sun, producing that electricity at no cost, with the exception of what it costs to produce the solar panels?
Yeah.
But you've got a return there. You've got the sun producing that electricity free of charge.
Yeah. So, I mean, a big part of that is the reliability concern. 'Cause
Right.
That's a lot of what we hear. And that, if the sun doesn't shine, wind doesn't blow with renewables, what do we do? So a big piece of that is storage. So thankfully, again, in the Inflation Reduction Act, starting next year, so 2023, starting in January, you can have solar plus storage tax credits. It's never been available before. So brand new.
Now, is this for the homeowner or
Yes,
for the
for a homeowner?
For the homeowner.
Anybody, yeah.
Okay, so if I wanted to install solar panels, I'm going to get a tax credit, and what else?
So you get a tax credit for the solar system itself, plus if you wanted a storage system to have a backup for
Oh,
your
to
home.
have the batteries.
Yeah.
Yes, because now you have to, you have the solar panels
Yep.
generating the electricity. What you don't use, you can sell back to the electric company.
Exactly.
But now you will be able to store some of that in batteries so
Yes.
that when the sun isn't shining, you can still use your electricity that you generated.
Exactly. And a big piece of it, too, is just how complicated you want your utility system to be. So from the utility standpoint, there are a lot of ways you can orient your solar system so it's lining up with the peak of the utility. So we actually have that here with Columbia Water and Light. They have a really great solar rebate program here because you get more money per kilowatt if you're having a more favorable orientation to be generating more electricity from your solar panels later in the afternoon, which is when Columbia Water and Light has the most expensive time to generate power because most people are using it coming home, running your washer dryer,
Right.
cooking food, preparing dinner, all that. So the more utilities can create those incentives for people to use power that's good for them, you can really diversify your mix without us having to get a bunch of batteries.
Okay, we're almost out of time, but let me ask you this. Is there any way that someone could decide to go for solar energy with the panels and have no money out of your pocket, paying the same amount that you would be paying basically for your electric utility?
Not right now, but when you're looking at the time value of money and making an investment in solar panels, yes. You're going to save a large sum of money if you invest sooner than later, especially with these federal tax credits right now. You're going to be saving after a 5 to 10 year period for the next 15 to 20 years of that life of the panel. You're just saving money.
Okay, what about maintenance and upkeep of the panels?
So after that period, after that 25-year period is when you would really need maintenance. For most of them, outside of just wiping off some snow off the panels, there isn't much that needs to be done for a homeowner.
Okay. All right, so if people want more information about any of this,
Yep.
where can they go to get it?
To renewmo.org. We also have our advocacy tab on there specifically for co-op member owners. So if you are at a co-op, would like to get more involved, talk to your managers about these great opportunities for funding for renewable energy, please go on there, sign up. And we also have a national website, ruralpower.us, for our federal issues here.
Okay, it's www.renewmo.org.
Yep.
That's a website, and if you are on a rural electric co-op, there's a specific section on there
Yep.
for you that you can go to.
Yep.
It's something we all need to think about and again talk about, and hopefully help invest in the future.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Philip, for coming by. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.